What is up, everybody? Finally, down to the end, the last fucking showdown. These two beautiful bastards right here have fought their way through the whole bracket and have come down to face each other in my three hand-selected samples. So, up until now, the samples have all been selected through a randomizer. These three I hand-selected to be what perhaps I thought might be the toughest samples that I could send them. So I'm hoping I was correct, and I get to stump both of these guys on all three samples. Tonight, I am actually drinking along with them. I have the same three samples that they have. I have them marked 1, 2, and 3, so I'm going to drink along with them. So I will not let you know what I'm drinking tonight until the end of the show. And these guys have poured them while we were backstage, so they are getting some air. So when you guys are ready, if there's anything you want to talk about first, let me know. And,
no, I think it's been a lot of fun. You know, I mean, I've been in Whiskey Tube for a bit, and I think this is a cool concept. And the questioning, I like the questioning. I like the different things. I think it makes you dig a little bit deeper, and I think it's unique. I don't know that there's anybody out there doing blinds like this. So I think that's what's cool. And, you know, hopefully, you know, enough people are following you and all that stuff, because at the end of the day, you know, that's where the fun is. And it doesn't cost anything to like somebody.
It doesn't. You're right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That was kind of the goal here, to make it something unique and fun and maybe even a little exciting.
Yeah. I love the idea that it goes across the whiskey spectrum. Because, you know, everybody runs across something that they've never had. But, you know, there's a good chance that I haven't had any of these. Marshall hadn't had any. You just don't know. I think that brings a lot of the fun to it.
I'm about 99% certain that neither of you have even remotely come close to any of these three samples. So I'm hoping these are completely blind to you.
That's awesome. That's
exciting. All right. So in the comments, we got Joe, Smoked by Ash. Hey, Joe, he was the first one here. Said he was waiting. Started at about 6:45, I think. Crazy, man. We got Caesar, D's Bourbons. Thank you, brother. Doug from Single Malt Frontier is here. Mike, Whiskey Addict. Whiskey Shaman. The Whiskey Franco. Oh, we got Corey in here. Brian F.
Nice.
Who else? We got Sugar Kitty as usual. And a Spicy Strawberry. How you, Spicy?
What's up, Spice?
We got a Zach Andrews in here. What's up, buddy? And Cooking with Squirrel. We got a squirrel in the house. All right. So go ahead and get started on these first three samples, guys. We got...
oh, that's weird.
Yes.
Based off that nose, I don't think I care for that. Oh, there's a note, but I don't want to say it.
Remember that note. And I want to compare your note with my note.
Hey, Patty, Caesar, my post earlier in the chat, that was just for you two, okay? I had about 20 minutes to kill, and I stopped off at a Spec Liquor, and I'm just like, I got time. I came up to my area that I was working at a little early, and I was like, you know what? I'm in the rum aisle. I've got to look around, and I saw the Parrot Bay, and I said, I got to send it to him.
That's good, Doug. That's definitely funny.
Oh, dude, I haven't even wound down from the day, man. I popped through my garage door at 7:12, and we started at 7:30. So I'm still running on the adrenaline of the day and trying to get home. And
it's funny. So normally when I start at 7, I get home, I do whatever I got to do, and it's like I feel rushed. Today I was sitting here at 10 after 6, just waiting for 7:30 to chill up.
Yeah. Oh, that fucking nose is just so weird. It's so wild.
You know, did you ever watch Ren and Stimpy?
Absolutely.
This makes me think of the horse.
Okay.
He's like, nope, no sir, don't like it.
And you guys, have you tasted it yet, or just on the nose?
Oh yeah. I have to taste in order to nose because of all my weird shit. Going
on. Oh, you're an asshole. You're an asshole.
Patty.
That's an awful whiskey.
You know, what's funny about this is you say that, and I like this whiskey because it's so weird and just out there. But I agree with you. It's not good.
It's not a good whiskey. If I bought this and I came home and I tried it, I would be livid. You guys would hear a rant immediately.
Well, that's weird. Hear a rant from Marshall?
No,
Joe, I am drinking the same 3 things that they're drinking. So currently I'm on sample number 1.
Hey, Bobby, can we trade a tasting note or two here?
Shit and shit.
You ever cooked a spaghetti or a pasta and had the leftover pasta sitting at the bottom of the pot, and it's like the next day you're going to clean it and you're like, oh, what the fuck is that? And it's the smell of this cooked but dried out shitty pasta with a bunch of salt on it. That's what I'm getting, and that's awful.
All I know is that my nose don't like it. My palate really doesn't like it.
No, not at all.
And I have to keep drinking and sipping it because Jeremy's a fucker.
Oh, this is going to be a fun night tonight, guys.
For the 4th of July.
I can tell you exactly what it smells like to me. It smells exactly like leftover 2-day-old beef ramen.
Yeah.
Like
with
ramen packet.
With
the ramen packet that you put in the ramen. That's what it fucking smells like.
With this over-potent, over-sensation of black pepper that won't go away.
It just smells like the ramen packet. I mean, that's exactly what it smells like.
So my nosy note on
Jeremy, think of a beef. Have you ever had ramen noodles? Think of ramen. It smells like the fucking packet.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I get it. My nose on this.
Terrible. That makes me want to makes me want to punch a baby or something. Terrible.
Love it, Mary. Love it. Awful fucking whiskey. Thank you, Germ. I appreciate that one.
First point to get you a bottle of this, buddy?
No, I do not. I hope whatever this is discontinued at the end of 2024.
I know it was brand new actually.
Oh, fuck. That's even worse.
Travelers. I love the chat guesses on the whiskeys just by the reactions. I love it.
This fucking guys, this is awful. This tastes terrible to me. Martin cigar urine.
Ooh.
Oh.
The funny part is, Doug, I know they're calling it awful. I don't totally dislike this whiskey. It isn't great. I will agree with them that it is not great, but it is really fun that it's weird. Tony's in the house. What's up, buddy?
I mean, when this sits on the back pallet, I'm not joking. On the back pallet, this thing sits like a shitty perfume, like a shitty Walmart perfume with like the worst.
And it does have to qualify to be a whiskey, right? It has to be at least a whiskey, right?
It is 100% a whiskey.
Okay.
No games like that. This is all whiskey. And Adam Wolf is here. What's up, buddy? Holy cow.
Adam!
I am sorry. I have totally been ignoring Instagram. There's a lot of people over there. We got Braxton, we got Adam Wolf, we got Brian D. Whiskey over there, we got Mimi Von Swag, and HJC Media Group. What's up, my brother?
Casking, got it. All right, now specific categories. What I'm struggling with, because I've never had anything like this before, and I've never had anything this bad outside of a couple of Texas distilleries and Eagle Rare.
How about that? What was that bourbon that you got to try the other day?
This putrid, this putrid, this awful, putrid, gross. Now, I don't know how you ruin MGP. It's the most safe and it's just like it's safe, boring, basic bitch whiskey, and they somehow managed to ruin it.
They somehow managed to ruin 4-year-old MGP.
Yeah, they ruined it. It's undrinkable for me, and this is almost as equally undrinkable. No, see this is Patty. This is like mom's spaghetti when it's thrown up. Okay, he looks he looks nervous. Okay, but hey,
so it is mom's spaghetti on the sweater already.
Yeah, that's what we get. This is the spaghetti after it's been thrown up. I can't get specific category at all. That's pissing me off.
Well, Corey, that may or may not have been the plan.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I just hope you were nice enough to send one really good whiskey and two really shitty ones. That's my only hope. That's my only that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
I'm glad we're having fun with this because this was good for the last round. I sat and thought about these 3 samples for when you won, I was like, oh shit, okay. So then I'm like, okay, I gotta figure this out. And then Bobby pulled it through, and I'm like, all right, well now I gotta kind of keep it somewhat, fun.
Oh,
but
thanks, Germ. Thanks. I really. I'm feeling the love, buddy. Asshole.
Chicago hot dog water, Patty. Straight out of the river. I like that idea, Adam. That's a great idea. I'll send Marshall a case of this.
Oh, I just burped. It's even gross. It's even more gross when you burp it back up.
Spicy. I wonder how you have that feeling.
Goddamn right, Randall. We're riding the lightning tonight, buddy. I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. Legitimately.
Martin with the suggestion that the loser has to chug a bottle of this.
I will not do that. I will not do that.
No, that ain't gonna happen.
Let's go. This is my just punishment for all the shit talking rants I go on all the time, isn't it?
Maybe slightly.
That is the hardest thing that I've ever tried to think of anything ever on anything.
Oh, Drew joined over on Instagram. Hey,
Dude,
Drew.
and see now that I've replayed
Rob
it,
with
kind of gone back
6.
to it. Yeah, that
Oh,
fucking
the
packet.
spicy. I am not having fun with that. No, not at all.
You know what, dude?
If it would have fallen in a couple categories, there's things that came to mind right away, and I was like, oh, it could be that and that, but it's like, well, that doesn't qualify as a whiskey. So I was like,
Sugar Kitty, I agree
Oh.
with this statement, and each bottle is going to have a very large sticker placed on it that says not available for resale. So they
Yeah.
cannot sell it. They have to drink
which is horrible in itself.
it.
I'm gonna go. I just got something on the back end that I think may be a little bit telling, but I don't know because the front end sucks so freaking bad that I can't enjoy the back. And there was a euphemism in there somewhere if you can find it.
Damn, Martin. Damn. Something in German. Come on, man. Or that was Sugar Kitty. I'm sorry.
All right, I've got my guesses and stuff written down.
Okay.
I will be honest. I'm not confident in this in the slightest.
Ooh, Corey. Damn.
If this was 10th Mountain, Brian's got a bigger problem in his life.
That's wild, Corey. Hold on. Corey, that's wild.
That's feral.
All right, so Marshall's ready with his guesses. Bobby, let me know when you are.
I'm as good as I'm going to get, man. There ain't no way I'm going in.
All right, who we going first?
No idea.
I usually start on the left, so we're going to start with the right, and that is Bobby today.
What are we doing?
Whenever you're ready to guess, you go down.
I forgot we do it one at a time. I thought we were doing it when we get to the.
One at a time.
No, we'll do one at a time.
Yeah. So, let's see. Generic category, I put American whiskey. Generic proof, I put 90. Generic casking, I put new. Specific category, American whiskey. Specific ABV was 92.6. Specific casting was New American Oak. Exact distillery was Minglewood. And I didn't know their exact bottle.
All right, so now just to clarify, when you say American whiskey, you're talking about it doesn't meet the requirements for any specific category.
That's correct.
Okay, got it. All right, Marshall, what do you got?
Okay. So I have it on here, genetic category as a blended grain whiskey.
Okay.
I put proof at 50.5% for alcohol by volume, right?
Yep.
I put ex-bourbon cask. And then I kind of went a little bit of a different route on the back end here because I think I want to do, for a specific category, I want to do an Irish rye. I'm putting the proof at, I'm going to do the ABV is at, I'm sorry, the exact proof. I'm going to do 104.
4. And you're still going with ex-bourbon?
Yeah. I'm gonna stick. I think it's an ex-bourbon cask. Yeah. And then I just wrote Great Northern for the distillery because I'm going to be honest, I know so little about Irish whiskey. I don't even know the other distilleries out there. And then I put this as a Whistler single barrel.
Okay. And you're talking about Great Northern in Ireland, not Wisconsin.
Ireland. Yeah, the only other one I know of.
Yep.
Outside of like what was it? There's Middleton that does the red breast and green
Yep.
spots, stuff like that, right?
Yep.
Bobby, I'm right there with you. This shit's gross.
All right, so I had some thoughts to do the reveal of each sample at the end of each guess. Do you guys want to do that, or do you want to still save it for the end and do all three at once?
I like doing it at the end personally.
I like it at the end.
Okay.
But you're not it. You know, it's. I think it gives more room to have fun as you're going and not so.
Yep. I agree, and it was just a fun little change for the last one. I kind of thought about, and I didn't solidify that, so I figured I'd ask you guys and see what you felt, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, I'd rather do it at the end. I mean,
I like it at the end. It's fun,
especially with this shit show stuff.
All right.
It goes on the second one is also awful. Good God, dude! Like shitty reject. You know what it smells like? It smells like them shitty scented highlighters or scented markers. That's what it smells like to me. Like blueberry scented marker.
Yeah, no, I agree, Martin. More of a buildup. I like that. Corey says save for the end. Squirrel says save for the end. Yeah. No, I agree. I like it saving for the end. That's a good idea. What have you done? Winter is coming. You don't like the nose on this either?
No, I don't.
Like, you're a picky son of a bitch.
Who in the do you think you're talking to? Okay? I am the single most opinionated asshole you've probably met in a long time.
Yeah, no, I'll go with that.
I don't like the taste of it either.
I like that, Caesar. Tell them where they're trying the second one to really throw them off.
Whoa.
I tell you what I'm going to do. Jerm, can I take a drink of something else real quick?
Yeah, you do whatever you want.
Okay.
Your
Okay.
palate.
I'm gonna grab something else that I know what the flavor is and I know what the taste is like, and I'm gonna try to use that as a cleansing because
Jason Coates is here. What's up, Jason?
Well, I've been cleansing with whiskey.
I'm
Trying,
cleansing with rum.
The best thing to clean your palate is another whiskey. I mean, seriously.
I've been trying to cleanse, but
From Northwoods.
you know, it's like it's hard because that shit is really bad.
Okay, no, my palate's on point. That tastes exactly where I want it to be. That's just awful.
Now, to be fair, guys, I didn't send them the 3 awfulest whiskeys I have. That's not what I did here, because those suckers are still sitting down here. I did send them some of the most interesting whiskeys I have. Not sure if they're great or not, but definitely some interesting things. Now, I happen to actually really like this one.
Okay.
And we got Colin over on Instagram. What's up, buddy? And we did have Hinter House Distilling join. Rob from Whiskey and the Six joined over there. I don't know if they're still there. I can't see the count on Instagram. Bunny Droppings.
I believe that's Chris.
Okay. Braxton, yes, that is why he only drinks rum now, is because he has ruined himself with too much rum, and it's just what happens.
Yep.
I'm not a fan of torturing people purposefully, Sugar Kitty. So, I mean, like legitimate torture, making them drink the things that I think are the worst.
Bobby, recommendation: try to find an age, because we very well may go 0 to 0, and an age statement may be the only way we get this solved.
I'm telling you, this is some fucking weird. First of all, I'm the guy that would never, ever, ever have ever considered buying this shit. Ever. Not a chance.
I see that. The weird highlighter shit won't go away on the nose. The weird blueberry scented highlighter won't go away.
Okay.
Fuck off.
Martin. Fucking Martin. Jason, I agree. I love rum. It's a great spot to vacation, but I can't live there. You're right. Ben, what's up, buddy? Nice to see you. Thanks for joining.
Oh, I don't have a single thing down on paper for this one yet.
Well, good. That means I'm doing my job well. That you guys are confused as shit on these.
The only thing my brain wants to latch onto is that this is an old Ezra Brooks product. And I don't know why I'm thinking that, because it's not giving me everything else that I experience on an Ezra Brooks. And that's really getting under my skin.
Yes, Ben, that is correct. The comments should actually show up on Marshall's as well, because he is streaming it to his channel also.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think they would have this reaction to Starward. Starward's pretty
No,
good.
I've had Starward. It's weird, but it's not bad. This one's
There you go, guys. There's your one clue for the night. It's not Starward.
This is alcohol and proofy with no significant flavor. It has no body. It has no mid palate. This has nothing that would make me excited to drink it. If anything, I feel like this is just kind of a hollow shell of a spirit that shouldn't be bottled.
I have no idea even what to get. I mean, I'm just like,
yeah, it's just hollow and flavorless.
It's nothing that I look at the categories and I'm like, I have no fucking idea of anything. It's like I'm trying to like think right now.
Oh,
what would be worse? You know, like would I be rather out, you know, rolling around in some poison ivy? Would I be some physical pain? All those things sound better.
Hey, Martin, you're a masochist. We know that. I'd love for you to be able to drink.
Well, Martin, I'm already in Wisconsin, so yes, I can definitely bring them to Wisconsin. Yes, I will. If y'all want to try these, I will bring them down to the Driftwood meetup.
It's weird because like there's things that I think, okay, it maybe could be this, but this makes it not that. And then maybe it could be this, but that don't make that, so it can't be that. And I'm just like, fuck it. I don't know.
So
everything contradicts everything.
Here's what I'm getting. I feel like I'm getting a spirit that dips way too far into the heads, like aggressively too far into the heads. It's got a misleading proof because the proof on the front of the tongue does not exist in the nose. It doesn't exist in the back palate. It doesn't exist in the exhale. So the proof is a total fucking sham to the palate, right? Like Germ knows what he's this sick bastard is sitting over here just living it up because he gave us something neither one of us care for. Neither one of us know what the hell's going on, and we're attempting to try to process this disaster in a fucking glass. And I hate him, but I love him like a brother.
But you know, I think that's the thing, right? You're trying to break down the most basic things. Like, what is the most basic? I have no fucking idea what the most basic thing on here is.
No.
I'm just like, I have never felt out of 2 4s as completely lost as I feel right now.
I
Ever.
totally agree, Caesar. Totally agree. There's never enough heads.
I have never felt so lost that I was like, it's one thing to get on here. It's like, well, I don't know if I'm doing really good. It's another thing to know, like, I don't expect to have done anything.
Tony, yes.
Everything
absolutely.
is purely a guess.
Tails are a little different, Drew. What Marshall's describing is actually pretty accurate. Now, if he can formulate that into a guess,
I can't.
I would be impressed.
I physically can't. This may actually be the second worst whiskey I've had outside of Malort. Well, Malort's not even a whiskey; it's a liqueur.
It's not. This might be the second worst whiskey I've had outside of the first sample.
Well, the first sample was bad. I think the second sample, the first sample somebody likes. The second sample somebody has to act like they like it.
See, I actually do like it. I enjoy it.
You're the broken human being that sent us this, so that doesn't say much. I hope you get your rocks off later, buddy, because we're not talking for a little while after this.
See, I only got one hand up here.
You know what? See, the problem is I'm at distillery and bottle. And I'm debating on just putting some random shit down.
That's all I did, because there's no way I have a fucking clue on that. I've never, ever bought nor drank or tasted anything like the first 2 I've had.
No. I'm going to guess. I'm going to go. I'm going to go for the humor factor.
The humor factor. Hey, what's up? I'm going to assume that that's Nate over on Instagram, BBS Live.
All right. 2 is worse than 1, in my opinion.
Interesting. That's interesting.
And I think it's just because 2 pisses me off.
Oh, Doug, I want to try some Iron Ton. I've heard some things about them, and I really definitely want to try them. All right, so we started with Bobby last time. Bobby, when you're ready, let me know. Marshall, when you're ready, let me know, and we'll start.
I'm ready.
Marshall's ready. Bobby, when you're ready, tell me. Yeah, don't inflate his ego any more than it already is, Ben.
Yeah, I'm as good as it's going to get at this point. Pardon. I have no idea what this is, so we can go.
All right,
Marshall, give them to me.
Generic cask. I'm going to put this as a rice whiskey.
Rice?
Kind of like that JT Mellick crap. Okay. I'm going to put it right there in that same category.
Rice whiskey.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say that the generic ABV is 52%. I'm going to say it was done in a used oak cask because there's not enough tannins for a new oak. For specific category, I'm going to say a blended grain whiskey of some sort, or a grain whiskey is what I want to go with on that one. And then I'm actually going to up the proof on the specific ABV to 116 because a bigger swig gave me more burn. And I feel like the burn and the hollow feel is giving me a hollow proof. It may be closer to like 48%, maybe a 50%, but I think I'm going to guess at 116. I'm going to say it was in a used bourbon cask for specific casking, just ex-bourbon. And then for the humor of it, I'm going to guess the distillery was Westland and that the bottle was a George T. Stagg because both of those can screw off at this point.
JTS. You got a year for that JTS?
I'm gonna guess. You know what? What's that shitty bottle that Christian brought us at the fucking ball last year? Was that 22?
I think that was 22.
I'm gonna guess the 22 because that was one of the worst bourbons I've ever had in my entire life.
You got it. You got that. All right, Bobby.
So generic category, I put it as a malt whiskey. I put a generic ABV of 121. Generic casking used oak. Specific category, I put it as an Irish single malt.
Irish single malt.
Specific ABV, I put 120. Specific casting, I put used oak finished in orange liqueur. And I put Jameson orange cask strength.
I love it. I actually I can wholeheartedly respect every fucking bit of that.
I mean, the only thing I could come up on that was fucking orange. I couldn't get away from orange. It was just fucking orange.
That's crazy.
I don't know what it is or why, but it was just orange to me.
I mean, like a dried orange zest, kind of.
There's like an orange zest to that I couldn't get away from.
I can see it on the palate, but it's so thin and so fragile and so weak. It's not worth it.
No matter what I did, I couldn't get away from the orange. So I was like, I have nothing else.
All I'm going to say right now is that's crazy, Bobby. That's crazy.
Well, I'm crazy.
All right.
Look at that. Goddamn
Move
big
on.
sexy's in chat.
The big sexy.
The big sexy.
There he is.
In the
What's up,
chat.
Travis?
What's up, Travis?
Love you, brother.
Oh, really? You know what? I'll tell you what. The next time you do this, the next bracket you set up, I'm going out first round intentionally because I'm not making it to this point again.
You think you'd be getting good shit at the end. No, you're getting just fucking punched in the nuts.
No, this is
you're getting speed bagged. You're not getting just. It's like.
All right, now if you don't like this one, Marshall, you are a broken man. This is a good fucking whiskey.
I'm too busy laughing, dude.
Are we going to the next one?
Yeah, going to 3, buddy. We got 3.
All right.
Yes,
Okay, the nose
Travis,
is a little
everyone
bit more
here
approachable.
is mentally unstable.
Yes,
True
very
story.
much so.
Tony, that is not a horrible, horrible suggestion. And yeah, no, where's the poker face comment? Yeah, the poker face. Nah, I don't really care right now. They're not anywhere in the fucking even in the same country at the moment.
Awful fucking whiskey. Like whoever bottled this should be ashamed of themselves.
Martin, we already know you're unstable.
Oh, now we're getting interesting. That's weird. That back palate's not good though. The front palate was great. The back palate, I don't care for that.
You will know why in a few moments.
Oh no. The longer that sits, the worse that gets. I've had something in this realm before.
I've never had this, but this is better than the other shit.
Oh, fuck, far better than the other two. Martin is as mentally stable as Joe Biden.
All right. Keep the politics out of it.
That's fucking funny. No. Oh, all of a sudden there's this really cool raw honey note on the nose. Oh yeah, that's good. Oh yeah. Cool. I feel like that ABV kicked up a little bit on this one.
So I didn't mention this earlier, but so far, points wise, Marshall, you're at 28 coming into this one. Bobby, you're at 24 coming into this one. So both pretty freaking close.
Dude, the front end of that really is cool. It's interesting. It's fun. It's kind of given this dark cherry, coconut, there's almost this kind of like hint of pina colada in there. And then it just kind of really folds back into this really dark kind of tannic sensation. And it's great in the front palate. But then as soon as I get into that back palate, it just goes into this like really weird kind of grainy, somewhat malty character. I think it's a little bit more malt than it is grain, but I just find that this is such a weird back palate, and the longer it sits, the worse it gets. Like, it's cool up front, and then as it sits there, it just continues to get worse.
Adrian Shine has joined over on Instagram. Hi, Adrian. How are you? FGWC Chris.
I think I'm as good as I'm going to be. I don't know that
I haven't even written a single thing down yet.
I don't know if
this is intense as shit.
What's up, Chris? That's Ludwig for Four Gate Whiskey.
Oops. Randall, I appreciate you. Thank you, brother. Reminding you all to hit that thumb on the way out or right now.
I've never had this, but I've had a myriad of things that could have made up this.
Yeah, this is the fun one, Germ. This is
I can tell you for sure, I've never had this.
I had this feeling that you guys would have some fun with this particular sample.
But
I didn't know if you'd like it or not, but I figured you'd
things
have
that like I can go back and say like I feel like there's parts that somewhat makes sense.
Doug, I'm not 100% certain. Life is changing rapidly around me, so my goal is to get distillers and distilleries and such on live interview talks, whatever you want to call it, stuff like that. I'm not a big fan of the list style videos. I mean, once in a while it's fine, but every now and then, all the time is not something that I'm into. But definitely promoting some smaller craft distilleries, maybe getting them on and talking to them, especially distilleries that make a good portfolio of whiskey, bourbon, rye, single malt, et cetera. That's my plan, and we'll see what happens. Oh, Dahmer joined the chat. Here we go.
Oh, Colin's in chat?
Yeah, he joined over on Instagram a little while ago, but now he's over here. So for everybody that's watching on either YouTube or Instagram does not share the comments over here. I can see you when you join and make a comment, but I can't share it to the screen because it's not. StreamYard does not pick up Instagram comments for some reason.
Not yet. They're
Not
working.
yet. They're probably working on it, and I would say that they are.
It says that they're working on it.
Yeah.
YouTube.
That is every time I end a stream, it asks, "How did it go? Do you have any feedback?" And my feedback every time has been, "Get the Instagram comments to show up." So hopefully, I mean, I've done a few of these lives now, and that's the same comment every time. So hopefully, they're watching it.
Best thing I've had all night.
This one?
My cigar.
Oh, well, sorry. Sorry to disappoint you, Bobby.
No. No, I think it's fun. I think that when you have like what we're in, I think it should be this. I think it should be off the walls, fucking bonkers, just mental.
Okay. Bobby, you got your stuff written down all right?
For the most part, yeah.
I've got mine done. Before we do this real quick, I want to say, do you get a sherry influence in that mid to back palate?
I feel like there's a couple things.
Potentially like maybe a generic wine cask, and then there's maybe a dry brandy.
There's a couple things that could be floating around there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
okay.
Realistically, there's a couple things that could float.
Yeah. This is by far the best, and
it's definitely the best tasting because the other ones were fucking straight from the sewage.
All right, who's going first? Me?
You know what?
All right, Bobby's going first.
This is what I think. Right, the first two bottles were drained from a drill hole he did in the back of Ulta. He went to the dumpster in Ulta and fucking drilled a hole and poured some shit out. And there was enough alcohol in it to make it taste like something.
Oh, Martin, I'm going to be ranting and raving after this one, whether I win or lose. So, yeah.
It doesn't matter. This is.
Dude, I don't know if I'm going to show up on Instagram after this because I might be deemed an asshole.
You may be blacklisted, you asshole.
No, I think. I will say this, Jeremy. I think what you did was absolutely great.
Thank you.
Because if you see, realistically, you look at Marshall scored 28. I did 24. There's a lot of things in there. You got to throw curveball. I mean, why not? This is the championship. That's the curveball itself.
Yeah. And when you guys find out what these are, I mean, you're going to be shocked as to what they actually are.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty
versus
sure
how they actually taste. And that was why it took me so long to pick these, because I was trying to find ones that surprised, like I read the label and the taste surprised me.
You know what? I talk enough shit.
But there's been times I've done this with my brother, and something that I absolutely loved, I went and blinded it and put it as notes would never drink this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that you could throw something that would make you be like, oh, okay, that's kind of crazy.
Okay,
you ready for me to go?
I'm ready for you to go, Bobby.
Okay, generic category, I put malt. Generic proof, I put 124. Generic casting, I put used. Specific casting, I put American single malt. Specific ABV, I put 126.2. Specific casting, I put used ex bourbon. Exact distillery, I put Cedar Ridge. An exact bottle, I put quintessential just because you've never not had a quintessential in there.
I could see something in that realm of quintessential. I just don't know if it's necessarily that.
It's not what I thought it was. I know what I thought it. I know it after I already wrote it down and we talked. There was something came to mind, but I'm not going to write that down after we talk because that doesn't make sense.
If this is the bottle that I just popped into my head, I'm taking a flight to Wisconsin, buddy. And me and you are going to go a couple of rounds.
All right, what do you got?
All right, I've got written down a single malt.
SM.
I got 53 by alcohol by volume at 53%. I have used oak and sherry cask. Okay.
All right.
I put specific category, right? I put specific category as blended malt.
Okay.
Okay. I've got the specific ABV at 102 proof.
2.
And I have an Edredauer for distillery, and I put a signatory release of Edredauer.
Casking, specific casking. What do you got? Ex-bourbon and sherry?
Ex-bourbon and sherry.
Okay.
Mhm.
XB,
Used oak and sherry is what I put on there.
Okay. And then Edredauer.
And then I just put a signatory release of Edredauer.
Okay.
And I don't think that's right, but I don't know who else is playing with sherried malt. So
All right.
it was just a safe bet. But I don't legitimately think that's the fucking distillery that it is. I can't think of anybody else on top of my head that's doing that.
You guys are so fucking close on points. It's hilarious.
Hey, the fact that he said we had a point.
Fuck yeah, we have a point.
We have a
There is one winner.
So I'm gonna tell you right now, I just poured Eagle Rare. I like Eagle Rare less than I like samples 2 and 3. I'm gonna be honest. I would rather drink 2, and I would rather drink 3 than to drink that flat, boring bullshit. Okay.
All right.
I'm on a personal.
So before I get into this reveal, okay, as I started saying that, there was 25 people watching this live. First of all, honestly, I don't know how to say thank you for 25 people watching this live. Plus the people on Instagram, you people are fantastic, and I really, really appreciate you. And thank you for supporting me and sharing this and doing all the things that you have been doing while I do this little competition. I have had a ton of fun doing this. It has been an insane amount of work that really I don't have any hard feelings about doing that amount of work for the results of this whole competition. It really has been a fun time sharing my whiskey, seeing people's reactions to things that they have not had. It's really been fun. And without any further ado,
I want to say something first, right? Having done blinds before and having supplied whiskey before, hey, kudos to you. 1, it's not easy. 2, it's not cheap. Right? There's nothing about that cheap.
No.
You know, that's all out of pocket with no back, right? I get that. So I've done that before, and so kudos to you for having a great competition, exploring the idea of whiskey in general, which nobody's doing in that broad a field. And you know what? If there's any way that I could send some recoup back to you, I'd be happy to do it because I know what that takes, and I've been doing it for a long time.
I'm not looking for any recoup. However, it has been brought to my attention that that I need to do some blind sampling. And I sit here and I watch two people go through blind samples that I sent them. And I need to do some blind sampling. So the concept here is a couple of the people throughout the competition each pick one bottle out of their collection randomly and send me that. So I have 3 samples to go through, and then I go through that and I try to guess what it is.
That'd be awesome. I'd love to do that. I'm in.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to the store tomorrow.
Well, I'm not going to the store. I'm going under the
buy a
bottle.
fucking bottle to fuck me up. That's what you're going to do.
I'm going under the bar.
You have every bottle of whiskey in my collection you already have in your collection. And they're boring because I don't fucking drink whiskey.
Oh, you don't got the bottles in my collection.
No,
I'll just go under my bar. We're good.
I
So-
just don't.
We will I will converse with everybody that has been in the competition so far and see
Yeah,
if
I think that's
anybody's
a cool idea.
interested
Yeah.
in doing this, and maybe we can make a different style competition out
Hey,
of it.
so how about this? How about this, right? Everybody that was in the competition right, has to send you a sample,
Okay.
and they give you a criteria, and based on points, whoever gets the least amount of points gets a first round bye to the
Okay.
next competition.
Good idea, Bobby.
And then speaking of in the next competition, I do want to do season 2. I would love to have 32 people instead of 16. However, I need another additional group of people. I know some of the 16 that have been in it so far this time don't want to come back. And I know there's a few people that said they would definitely be in for the next one. But anybody that wants to join, whether you're a whiskey YouTuber, you're a whiskey Instagrammer, you're just a person that loves to do this, Jason Coates, I'm talking to you. If you want to get in on this, you will win. I can guarantee you.
I mean, Jason, Colin, Corey. There's so many of those guys.
Jason Coates is a sample savant. So
I'll put all of you on contact. Joe,
yeah.
By
so
Ash.
Anybody that wants to join, send me a message either here on YouTube or on Instagram, or if you happen to be in the Discord, let me know. I will try to set this up with. I want to get 32 people. Marshall, I think, or Bobby, whoever wins today, probably moves through to a bye. Bobby, I like your idea if whoever sends me samples that stump me gets the first round bye.
Marshall.
Don't worry, it wasn't by much. Yeah, so without any further ado, let's get into
I'm an instructor by trade. I listen to everything, so
yeah, you heard that. You caught on to that, and I tried to cover it up. All right, so sample number 3. Both your guys' favorite sample of 3?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, my favorite,
right.
Hands down, no questions asked.
All right. Well, you guys tied on that sample at 1-1.
That's so bad.
Your 1 point was on generic casking at used.
Really?
Yep.
There's got to be some sherry influence in that somewhere, dude.
There is 0 sherry in it.
Fuck. Really?
Really? Okay, so you both suggested a malt whiskey. You both said 53%, and you both said used casking. That's your generic guesses. It is a rye whiskey from Canada.
It's the second time I've done that. Confused rye with malt. Damn it, dude.
It is a Canadian rye whiskey. It is at 66.5%.
Are you serious?
I had like 124 as my proof.
You had 126.2
as my exact proof. As my exact. 124 is my generic.
Yep, and it's 133 on the proof.
Right. I knew it was high.
Yeah.
You said we both had 53, and I was like, I never said 53.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Marshall had 53. You had 124. Yeah, you're right.
Gotcha. It was high.
But you both said used barrels, and you are correct. It is used barrels. Then you went on to specific category, blended malt and American single malt. Obviously, we are a Canadian rye.
Right.
102 proof, 126.2.
There's no way that's
a little low, Bobby, but you were on the right track. Specific casking, ex-bourbon and sherry. Marshall, ex-bourbon is correct. Stout finished is the secondary barrel.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
That is why
number 3. I said used in ex-bourbon.
You did say ex-bourbon. Yep. Yeah. And both of you have said ex-bourbon. So it is ex-bourbon and then a stout cast finish at the end. That stout cast is why you had that weird back end finish that you didn't like because you're not a beer fan.
No, I'm not at all.
No, and especially a stout fan. Also, probably why you thought malt whiskey because that stout finish on this is really pushing the malt heavy forward.
And that's probably why I liked it so much because I like the stout finishes.
Yep.
I probably have this bottle on my shelf.
Maybe. You might. It's a little bit older and it's kind of rare. Distillery, Marshall, you said Edgedour. Bobby, you said Cedar Ridge. Signatory bottling of Edgedour and a quintessential of some sort, Bobby. It is actually a Cat's Eye Distillery, the Maggi.
You
So
do not tell me I've tried that bottle.
So I have a cat's eye.
Tried that bottle.
I have a cat's eye, but it wasn't the magic.
Okay. So there isn't a tie, so I'm going to break out the age. This is 26 years old.
I had that bottle. I've had that bottle.
You have had
Drank
this
from
bottle.
that bottle and could not get anywhere close to it.
You have.
What the? That's okay.
That's funny.
And for everybody watching, if you go to the liquor store and you look on the very bottom shelf behind all the bottom shelf stuff, there's a plastic bottle with a screw cap that says Black Velvet. This is the actual whiskey that comes out of Black Velvet before they blend it with neutral grain spirit.
That's
I'm with the
wild.
Distillery, and I did a barrel.
Alistair Distillery.
I did a barrel pick there.
It was finished in a Toppling Goliath stout barrel.
I did a barrel pick of that.
And I had that in Wisconsin when I was with you just a few months ago.
Yeah, you did. And you had it in October at the Bastards Ball.
That's fucking wild, dude.
It is wild.
And I knew there was, and I made a
This
comment,
is a really good whiskey.
Familiar.
There's no way around it. It is definitely interesting. It is definitely neat. It does not present as a rye very much. You liked it on the front, where it does present as a rye. But then as soon as it finishes, it goes to that malty, roasty, stout beer finish, and it really throws everything off.
Yeah,
that's wild.
It's super fun.
Yeah.
All right. What sample do you guys want to do next?
Just go to the next one.
All right. Well, we'll just do number one.
Do one.
Number one. Everybody's favorite sample of the evening. Marshall, you said blended grain. Bobby, you said American. Marshall, you said 50.3, which you did get a point for that. Bobby, you said 90, so that's 90 proof, so that's 45%. So you missed that one by a little bit. Generic casking. Marshall, you said used oak. Bobby, you said new oak. Oh, shit. Yes, that is correct. I'm still correct. You said new oak. It is actually a straight rye whiskey finished.
This bottle is so bad.
Marshall, it is at 50%, so it's 100 proof. So, okay. Bobby, you missed a little bit on the proof. You said used, Marshall. You didn't get a point for that. Bobby, you said new. You didn't get a point for that. It would have been new and used. Specific category, Marshall, you said Irish rye. You were fucking close, man. You were close. Bobby, American still. Specific ABV 104. You missed that by 4 points, Marshall. Bobby, you said 92.6. You missed that by a few.
Yeah, that drank.
Marshall said ex-bourbon, and Bobby still said new. We needed the bitter orange liqueur barrel finish. So it is straight rye whiskey.
On number one?
Yeah, number one. On a bitter orange liqueur barrel. This is why I said when you said or you tasted orange on sample 2 was weird.
I didn't get orange on either one of them at all.
Yeah,
nope, I don't get orange on this at all.
The first one, all I taste was cinnamon and spice and that.
I don't get the orange on this at all. I get this weird Old Spice aftershave, old man's cologne, something like that in that realm, right? All right. So it is a Tattersall experimental cast from Tattersall. It is their straight rye whiskey at 100 proof, finished in a bitter orange liqueur barrel.
Somebody needs to be slapped for putting that in a barrel. They're putting that
it is fucking weird. I totally agree with you. It is weird.
That is one of the worst whiskeys I've ever had.
It's not great. I don't totally enjoy it, but I like it for its weirdness. I do like it for its weirdness.
No,
All
I
right,
love the
so-
Tattersall port cask, and the Tattersall cask strength is phenomenal. That's an abomination.
Right. Marshall,
I've
you
never
took
heard of Tattersall.
you took 1 point on that sample for your guess of generic ABV at 50.3. So you were within the plus minus 2.
It's insane.
And moving on to sample number 2, your next favorite sample. Marshall, you said rice whiskey. Bobby, you said malt whiskey. Both wrong. It is a rye whiskey.
There's no way that's a rye.
It is a rye whiskey. All 3 samples were rye whiskey.
Awful.
Generic ABV. Marshall, you said 52%. Bobby, you said 121 proof. It is actually, where are we at? Number 2. 56.5% or 113 proof. So you're both off a little there. You both got a point for the generic casking. It is used casking. Generic or specific AB or specific category. Marshall, you said blended grain. Bobby, you said Irish single malt. ABV proof specific 116 and 120. You were both low. Well, you were both high. Sorry. Specific casking, ex bourbon. Bobby, you said used oak and orange something or other. That was so crazy to me because the orange was the first one, but it doesn't taste like orange. The casking on this is a used gin barrel. So
a huge gin barrel?
Yes. So a Waterloo gin barrel. So there's some orange peel in that gin, apparently.
I mean, I smelled orange
I
already.
don't know the gin. To be
All I
honest.
was just going was orange.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So then distilleries, you said Westland and then GTS 22, which is hilarious to me.
Awful. Well, they're both awful whiskeys.
You're right. And then Jameson and orange, which, I get because you got the orange flavor in it. It actually is a treaty oak bottling of an Alberta whiskey.
I hate that bottle. I have hated that bottle for years. I refuse to even taste it. People will put that on a fucking tasting at Oak Liquor Cabinet in Austin, where I do most of my bottle shopping. I will walk right past it and say, I don't want to drink that bullshit. That's fucking awful. That validates every fucking feeling I had about that sample to the nth degree of fuck every single bit of what that goddamn distillery is doing right now because of that one fucking release.
Well, I'm really impressed that you even knew what that was. Because I saw that bottle and I was like, I don't even know what that is.
So
It's
Treaty
50 minutes away
Oak
from my
is a
house.
small distillery out of Texas. Their red-handed stuff is when they source whiskey. They call it red-handed. They make a specific label for source whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
This is a 10-year-old Canadian whiskey that was aged 10 years in Canada. Then they brought it down and finished it in a Waterloo antique gin barrel.
Awful.
Terrible.
Awful. Fucking trash. They should be ashamed of themselves. I'm glad they don't have a distiller. I hope they don't fucking ever distill whiskey again.
And the funny part is, I actually thoroughly enjoy this whiskey.
You know, I hate you more than I did before, Germ, because I've had that exact bottle, and I've had your fucking bottle of the Magi. Okay.
Yeah.
Of-
Well,
of-
no,
of
it
the-
wasn't mine.
the
I
Magi,
just
the-
opened
the-
that for these samples, actually.
Yeah, the Cat's Eye. I've had
Yeah.
the Cat's Eye, and I've drank and I've tried that shitty fucking rye whiskey.
So Travis brought it down to the Bastards Ball, and Tony brought it to the ice fishing trip in February.
Awful.
So both of you got a point.
Congratulations,
on
Marshall.
sample two.
That was a shitty. But
That sucked.
Both of you got a point on sample 3, and Marshall, you took 1 point on sample 1 for a generic proof guess.
Awful.
So Marshall moves forward to nowhere, but he takes the win.
I'm mad that I won that. I'm mad that I had to drink that.
3-2. I don't think it could get actually any closer.
But I've won most of these by 1 point. I won against Bill by 1 point. I won against Brian by 1 point. I won Bobby 1 point.
Yeah. Hey, you're a 1 point kind of guy.
I'm a 1 point champion. I'm fucking happy with it, I guess.
1 point's better than no points. So congratulations.
Okay, so Tony says his was a different bottle. All right. Yours was the port and sherry. All right.
Oh, okay. Cool. Great. Thanks. Dude, Germ, I love you, but that whiskey was awful.
Hey, it was weird. It was weird. I don't consider it awful. I consider it weird. Somebody fucking liked it to put it in a bottle.
No, and here's the thing. I'm going to close my rant on this. I don't think there was anybody qualified enough to barrel and bottle at the time at Treaty Oaks to be able to put that release out. I think that was a money ploy because there's no way they should be ashamed of themselves.
I got that a couple years ago, so, or maybe a year and a half ago.
You know what, Corey? A, I'm going to go back there. B, F off.
All right, so that is the end of the fucking Blind Sample Showdown, Season 1. What a process. What a project. Started in March, ended in July. Holy crap. It's been a lot of fun.
Yep.
I've had a lot of fun doing this. I think everybody involved has had fun doing it.
Everybody I've spoken with has.
And, you know, a lot of you guys come back to watch. So, I mean, I think it's fun for you guys to watch. I hope so anyways. Or you're just doing it to be nice, which, you know, that works too. But Season 2 coming up, I think I'm going to change it up a little bit. I think I am going to change it to maybe starting in like September and run through to the beginning of summer. And then that way their summer is open. Because I think I want to try to do 32. This one started out with 16 as a kind of a trial run. I'd like to try to get 32 people on board with this and see if we can make that happen. So, Marshall, you got yourself a bye for the first round of the next one. And I'm
throwing it. I'm throwing it in the second round.
I think actually I got to figure out how it's going to work total, but I think the final 4 is actually going to get a bye through to the second round. If I do the math right.
Dude, I'll tell you what, I don't care. I don't need a bye week, okay?
No, I know. And maybe I won't do bye weeks, but I need some time to think about how to move forward with this.
Yeah.
And I really would like to keep doing this. I had a lot of fun doing it, so I'd like to keep doing it. And I hope, you know, some other people had some fun with it too. So
I don't know. It's a lot of fun. I mean, you know, anytime you have a chance to grow the channel, have fun, and like try weird shit. Although I will say, one of the finals, I have no problem with the way it finished, right? Being weird. But you know what would have been just as equal as interesting is being things that all three of us had and try to, because you know, like, you ever watch ADHD, like Matt?
No, I can't stand watching Matt.
Well, Matt did a great blind, and it was so funny. Every one of them was the exact same bottle. And people were throwing out all kinds of craziness. Yeah. And they were all three the same thing.
I thought about that because I've seen that happen where you have the same sample 3 times in a row and you get different things off of each one and you call them way different whiskeys. I thought about that. I really did. And I'm like, that would be a little dick of a move, but it'd be funny.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think,
but yes, I agree.
I mean, in general, you know what? I mean, those things that I definitely got my eyes open to that are like things that I'm like, oh, I really like that I don't have and I don't pursue. So I think that's cool that, you know, you have, even though you have a bunch of weird stuff, some people are locked into bourbon, some are locked into, certain things. Well, you got your eyes open to different things. If you're doing more than just tasting, but also like, do I like this? Do I not like this?
Yeah.
I always
And-
starred anything that I thought was good. I was like, I
what
like this.
really I liked about listening to some of this is, and I'm going to use Zach for an example. Zach tried a distillery that he's never had, and he loved it so much that he went out and started buying that distillery. And it's a small craft distillery out of the PNW that he had never really heard of. And he has bought now, I think maybe two or three bottles from that distillery, and really enjoys them. And I'm super happy to hear that.
Yeah.
It's neat to introduce people to categories that they haven't had, or distilleries that they haven't had even, and that's fun for me.
Right.
So before we close this out, huge shout out, Bobby. We need an update. Battalion Cigars, what's going on?
Give us the update, Bobby. We need it.
So cigars are supposed to be delivered to Florida today or tomorrow.
Okay.
So I should be getting them sometime in the next week or two. We'll start probably. We're working on some processing things where we have to have that done first. And we'll probably be talking about that in 13 minutes on the live, right? So, but yeah, they will be up and ready to go on sale. We will pre-sale to the email people first, and then we'll open it up. Definitely will be in July. We know that for sure. It's just a matter of paperwork at this point for high risk processing because it's a tobacco product.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Got to follow all the rules. Yeah.
But I've seen the cigars. They're bundled. They're packaged. They're ready to go. They're on their way to Florida. Once they get there, they'll get delivered to me.
Okay. Perfect.
Sweet.
One of the moderators, if you could share battalionscigars.com on the chat, that would be great. And then if any of you have any recommendations for people that could or would possibly want to join any of this, let me know. If any of you watching have not been involved in this and would like to be involved, let me know. Or if you have somebody that you think might be involved, let them know to let me know. One way or the other. Let's try to get this to 32 people and see if we can make this a thing. So,
well, and then as well as that, I'm floating the idea of doing a rum variation. So if anybody wants that, hit me up on Instagram.
Yeah,
the best place to reach me is
I'm into lose right away on the rum thing. I mean, unless you send me some.
I can tell you this: I would guess rum every time.
Well, like I said, I've bought several bottles that have not made it to an Instagram post and have not made it into anything. So I'm beefing that up, and we're getting that squared away. So if you want to do a rum one, I'm limiting to probably 8 people max because rum is a much smaller category than whiskey. So if you want to be a part of that 8, it's going to be in a very similar setup, but I'm gonna ask different criteria, different questions. Should be fun. Should be amusing. It'll be a lot harder than the whiskey one. I will say that. If you are in the whiskey one and you're watching this and you want to do mine, it's going to be substantially harder because I'm not going with basic stuff at all. It's going to be very unique. It's going to be from high ester all the way to, yes, Patty, I bought a bottle of Parrot Bay, and some unlucky bastard's going to get that and tough shit to you.
So, Marshall, I will say this. I'm in. If you have 8 people other than me that are more into rum, skip me out. But if you need to make an 8th, I'm in for sure.
I've got 6 committed.
I will be a sacrificial lamb for that one.
Yeah,
I have 6 committed to it, loosely committed to it. So I would love to get 2 more. Just fair warning, a lot of the people here that watch this, they're not necessarily the biggest rum fans. They're not going to know what it is. And it's going to be a little bit more intimidating to get a hold of a rum that you probably will never have been ever able to experience. But it's still going to be fun. So
Cool.
Yeah, so
All
we'll
right.
be on in 10 minutes on Instagram at Bourbon Battalion.
Instagram 10 minutes. I think also Whiskey Franco too. So
Yeah, he said he's
pop
going
back
to
and
go.
forth.
Bobby, I appreciate it, buddy.
Hey, dude, that was
Hey.
crazy. That was fucking
That was
weird.
that was a weird set of samples. You guys both did excellent. Really,
was
in
weird.
all honesty, you both did excellent.
It was hard.
You knew they were weird. You knew they were funky. I knew they were weird and funky, and I kind of had this feeling you wouldn't get them anyways. So
Yeah,
that was my overall goal, was to stump the shit out of you, and I think I achieved.
Yeah.
Oh, you definitely did it.
Yeah.
So I'm
All
happy
right, man.
with that. And you guys, both of you, congratulations on making it to the finals. And you know, who's got the best palate on IG? I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what, if it's indicative of the last one was shit.
Hey, it happens.
But
Sometimes
the thing always comes down to the one thing that we've always said. It's always a point on proof.
it's always a point on proof.
Always a proof to me.
All right.
All right, man.
All right, everybody in the comments, thank you. And until the next one, man, we'll see you on the next Blind Sample Showdown. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody.